Then we come to web fonts, right? So till now, till before CSS3 came along, you could only use certain, like 6 fonts basically that you can only use on a web and have it maintain or guarantee that it can display properly across all operating systems or all browsers, right? You couldn't really use your own font and have it guarantee that the end user will see that same font, right? Inside a web page. You couldn't do that. With CSS3 web fonts, it will be the case. So you will be able to use whichever font you like inside a web page. Right? So it gives you the ability to use your own font on any web page. There are certain sites which are already doing this. For example, if you go to o&a.com right now, you'll see this. Like they use their own web fonts to make text more, not just more beautiful, but also more readable, right? So you can have much more typographic control, which is a great thing for designers. Like how many designers in the house? Like, you'll love this. You'll love this fact that you can have much more typographic control over your web properties. This is a small demo of Hindi fonts being used with web fonts, right? So if you notice, these are all working in different ways. These are all looking different. This is the system default font, which isn't really displaying properly at all. Right? So if you use it in conjunction with a web font like this, the Bharti font, or the CDAC, Yogesh the CDAC, it can improve the legibility of the text. So when it comes to Indian languages, especially, or regional languages in general, sometimes if you don't use web fonts, if you use just the system default, then sometimes it's very, very hard to read in certain systems. So in those cases, especially you can use web fonts to make it much more legible, right? So the main point that I'm trying to make is web fonts are not just for style, right? You can have, of course, you can have as many stylish fonts as you like on a web page, but readability is also important, right? You can actually make use of web fonts to make the text more legible and readable, and this is particularly relevant in regional languages.
So the question is like what level of anti-aliasing the web font supports? Like the earlier version before CSS3, if you notice, all the text is clearly about the English. So all the text that you write, it's all you can see those pixelated borders, and when it comes like when the designer is designing, that time it's like they can have that fancy like nice curved text. So what level of that text supported by CSS3?
CSS doesn't define anti-aliasing. So it all has to be done by either the browser or the font itself. You can use ETF or OTF font, and the whole responsibility of anti-aliasing will be done by the browser itself. It really depends on which browser you're talking about. Right? Yeah. So it really depends from browser to browser on this particular issue. CSS has nothing, the specification says nothing about anti-aliasing as such. Yes. So I'll show you the code how to do it. So you use a certain property called font face. Once again, learn it, use it, love it. Right? So what you do in font face is say, okay, font face, this is the URL of the PDF or OTF font, and this is what I'm going to call that font. Right? You say src URL, this.pdf, and font family, the name that you want to provide that, right? That you're going to use, which is in this case my font. Then whenever you have to use that particular font, just say my font.
So I'll interrupt one small announcement. In the interest of everybody in the room, we request people who are running currents to kindly close them down. Not that it's running it might be running in the background, so we just kicked out 3 clients from the admin console, but we can't keep doing it again and again. The routers are crashing down. Please do reduce use of current. Maybe you can do it in that time.
Oh, what he said. I couldn't really hear your question fully. Yes, it's as good as calling an image. The only thing is, with an image, you couldn't select that text, right? You couldn't select that text.
Yeah, I can do a background or a sprite image, keep the sprite image and keep rolling it, right?
Why do you want to do that when there's such very simple thing to do?
No, I'm just asking what is the difference, how maybe the size of it comes down.
Yeah.
It's again a HTTP request, right? So if I have, so how does it load exactly? Like
It takes the font and applies it to the web page.
okay,
Right? The advantages over here is, first of all, images cannot scale, right? This text can scale whatever you want. Secondly, you cannot copy or paste, that kind of images. You can't do this with text. Thirdly, once again, we're talking about accessibility. If an alt tag is not provided, alt attribute is not provided for an image, then screen readers will know nothing about that image, right? For the text, it's just text. You'll display or announce it. Yeah. So you can make text more readable as well, more stylish. Depends on the browser. It depends on the browser. From browser, the CSS specification doesn't say that it has to be cached. It depends on the browser. So Opera, for example, it caches it, but it's not really that much of a problem. So if you reload it, within a particular time frame, 2 or 3 things can once again load it fully.
so Shweta, just, hi.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ravi. Just to continue on that one thing, question. One is definitely font get cached. All browsers do it just like JavaScript, CSS, etc. The advantage of doing the font thing, first of all, it's a lot less bandwidth heavy. Once the font is loaded, you can use it across multiple.
That's once again depends on which language you are talking about. So in English, for example, typically font sizes are very, very less. But if you're talking about Asian languages, for example, these Asian language packs, for example, a language pack for Mandarin, a TTFL might even increase for 1 MB, right? So it really depends on whether you want to do that for Mandarin or not.
That's true, but it only loads once. And if you get your caching right, across your entire website, you'll be using the same font again.
Yes. So if you use HTML5 offline cache, for example, and you can cache that PDF file within the browser itself, then it's fine. Right? But the cache size is also limited by browser. So you can also set your own cache size. So if it increases that goes beyond that cache size, then it will not be cached. It's a tricky issue. You have to be careful when you talk about cache in browser.
Suppose we use a particular font which the particular system already has. So does it still download or does it use the font present in the system?
It's still download, but I'm not even sure that it uses the system font or not. It's not really sure. If you specify, then it should. I mean, I'm not really familiar with the whole algorithm, but if you specify something, then it will download. It should download from the and that particular way.